the Sherman Boki, that Joseph de
So this is the title of the teaching, and through the title we can understand the brief introduction or brief explanation of the HeartSutra teaching. So the first line is Sanskrit, the title for the teaching in Sanskrit. So the first part is the title in Sanskrit. The reason why it's in Sanskrit is because all those teachings of the Buddha translate into Tibetan from Sanskrit language. So whenever we translate these things and we leave the title of the teaching in Sanskrit itself as well. So there are many reasons to do that, because one of the reason is it's originated from India, so therefore there's a right word for that, but I don't remember. So anyways, that to shows that how to shows that this is the real teaching that came from India, from Sanskrit. Authentic lies? No. Source. To indicate that this is authentic teaching from Sanskrit. So after the title in Sanskrit, there is a title in Tibetan, and then a homage prayer to perfectional wisdom. So then it explained where this teaching happened and how it happens and who was the receiver of this teaching. So where was the place? The place was in the Vulture's Peak mountain in India. For Arya Sangha and ordinary Sangha, monastic bhikshus and bhikshunis, and how he taught this teaching is while he was meditating on samadhi, blessing or he blessed to Shariputra and Avalokiteshvara, and made Shariputra ask Avalokiteshvara questions, and then Avalokiteshvara answers. So this is how this teaching is established. So the Buddha was meditating on emptiness. This is this particular samadhi or concentration meditation called profound appearance. At the same time, Avalokiteshvara was also meditating on selflessness of 5 aggregates. So the power of the meditation, and Shariputra and asked this question to Chinese Avalokiteshvara in the future, and those who wanted to practice on perfectional wisdom, then how should they do? And then Avalokiteshvara says they should do in this and that way.
And then Chinese Sharipus, Chinese my Sharipus Puna. And then Regipo Mokanala, Shiraka participant, someone Japan the Vati, another number tower Sades, in the opinion, she had the participant Gongo Grace. Not under Gongo is a Pomona of Tendala, Ranjin Tombayanda for this tower, some Pomona, Zo, Sova Machine, number Shiva Pomona and Euro. But the deep Pomona at that time, the Ranjin, Debe Madova, and Samutomani. What the Shiva Sigure,
So after Shariputra asked this question, Avalokiteshvara, and Avalokiteshvara says, "Hey, Sharipu, and those who wanted to practice on emptiness, and they should do emptiness on selflessness, natural emptiness or natural selflessness of 5 aggregates." So then Avalokiteshvara explained one by one on these 5 aggregates how they should meditate, and begin with the form. So we have form and all those 5 aggregates, and every one of us have these. So Avalokiteshvara says they should meditate on form is emptiness, and emptiness is form, and form is not different from emptiness, and emptiness is not different from form.
What Dindi is Zo the Demon Zimba, and it Dindi Latina, and it Zone Zibala, Cha. And it Zo, and it yet my own one, and it is done. The Kunguji, Shedanji. And then that Zone Zim is a kind, my ball, and it is that than Lumati, Tomo. What a Tana Yi that is out of the Najana, you Momotin, which is Zo Demon Zimba Dindi. But I tell you, the society organization is a subject to be charged by
So, Avalokiteshvara explained how the form is empty. He started with the form. So, what is form? And form is actually object of our sense of I, object of faculty of our sense of I. So anything that is object of I is a form, including all this outer world and houses and everything that you see through your eye, sense of your eye, is form. So when we look at these forms, we see in many different ways. We see all those forms and different forms. So when we see these forms, we actually see only the appearances of the form, and we are not seeing the reality or nature of the form. So when we see the appearances of the form have we categorize actually our mental projection categorized into many different parts: good, neutral, bad. So and then there are good forms or beautiful forms. When we see beautiful forms, our attachment arises. And when we see ugly forms, our hatred and anger arises. When we see a neutral form, our ignorance arises. So this is how we actually dilute on outer appearances. So the reason why these negative emotions arise by seeing form, such as attachment and aversion, is because we are clinging to the form and thinking that it exists the way it appears. So when we are attached, when we think or when we clinging to the form and thinking that it exists. So either it's a beautiful form appears, we attached and we cling as beauty, and when it ugly appears, and we actually have this sort of the clinging thought of existence. For example, the flower that is in front of Rinpoche, when you look at the flower has the colors and size and all those things. When we look at these, when we see as a good flower, and we don't know the reality of the flower, the nature of the flower that is interdependent and emptiness, so on, but we immediately catch the mere appearance and think that this exists, and we have a sort of obsession towards it, and then we have ideas that has to be the way the permanently exist. So that's why our anger, hatred, or attachment arises. So if we know the nature of the form, it's an emptiness, so we wouldn't have these negative emotions arise. So therefore, it says that the form is appearing, but it's not. Their nature is not the way how appears. So appearances is a temporary, it's a mental projection, but the nature of the form is completely different.
That's Zotumba saying, Zotumba said, this Zota, Meba Chandru, Kajamari. Anto Tunga Meba, the Kajamari, Anto Zotunya Yer. Payena Yang, Tunga Yi, Nanto Tata Kari, Demetrobachi, Nanto, now that Demetrobachi in Zenia. But they did Demetroba much. Zokoran Rai, more the Tunides. I can't never Tunides in the then Demetrobachi, put in and Jerome Baji Yuko. Tell Mara, Nedote, the Tambo, Yoda Ki Mongo, Kiltin, the Yason in Bajede. And then I need Juji Mongo, the Tin, the Yan join my Bajede. I need to Korando Mochi, Demetroba. Tambo needs Juji Temper not so about Tin and Juma. The need Juji Temper not so about the Tin and the Tapo, Madame and Jerome the lawyer. And the young Taran is a meadow that I can get the Jewa and Gawas in the Mamujan. And this is Zopan King Wog attendant in Jerome, but never to the young. The need is Zotumba said the Nil program. Young Zotumba is in the answer of the mother thing, it is Zopoyam about educated money. Answer is Zop, debate by young. Then on the Zotumba is debate by the tree, Zoyom. The need Korangas Haji, and Tuni is. This Haji to me said, Korangi Chuni, Korangas Haji, Tuni is. And then Zop the thing and the run you buy is. Thing and the run you watch in not Dodo, Jerome, Nanzo, and Zemanaji, never to buy. So what the Trinity you mean? Zotumo,
so when we say the form is empty, emptiness doesn't mean form disappear. Doesn't mean form you don't see. So when we say it's empty, means it's not exist inherently. Meaning that whatever appearing there as a form is all arise from the certain temporary cause and conditions. So if it truly exists by its own, then it should be there from the beginning, and also it should not change. It should be there forever the way it is. But because it comes from certain cause and conditions, so therefore it arises, and due to certain cause and conditions, it remains for a while, and then due to certain cause and conditions, it ends. So what it means, it's appearances. It's not talking about appearances is not there, but the talking about the nature is not truly exist by its own without depending on any other cause and conditions. So basically it's saying that everything is cause and condition interdependently arises, so therefore it's emptiness. So this is how we have to understand emptiness. So when we see these the form as exist by not knowing the nature, if you really look carefully, it's just like a dream, just like a television. So when you're dreaming, until you wake up, whatever happens in the dream, everything seems real to you. But that's also certain temporary cause and conditions produce that dream. So for you, for your illusion, delusion, thought, delusion mind, it's real until you wake up. And similarly, when you look at the television, you can see so many different things in there. You can see a whole universe in a small box, on a small screen. That's also created by many different causes and conditions. So it's possible. So similarly, all these appearances, particularly form that we see from our eye, are just arises with many different causes and conditions. But their nature is like a nature of a dream. It's like a nature of television. It's not exist, not everlasting. It's all subject to change. And also any cause and conditions could destroy in any time. So from our own experience, of course, we do have a situation where certain things are very precious or beautiful to us, and certain things are not that much. But it's all the how it can hurt, or how it can how much pain and pleasure it can make in our mind is only depends on how much serious we take it, you know. So certain things, if you take it very seriously, then it hurts more. It, you know, all those negative emotions easily arises. But if you don't sort of think that as the real or very important, then our negative emotions wouldn't arise that much. So that's why, similarly, the reason why we have to understand the nature of the form as empty is because all those negative emotions arise from the not knowing what is the real nature of the existence.
산지긴 노그나나 아니 저거 차바비 님을 송데 다른 안소지 근데 안소 파이는 개보 메제라데 데 뭐지요 세마가 나 템페는 다 마음에 기니까 오라오라 되네 좀 템페 메제바기 셴바축 촉침보지 때라는지 때를 차나 그거 마음에 매가 나는 거는 소소 총으로 나 이제 망고지 야 생기 이에는 대장게 이제 뒤 나제 오대는 말메라서 과단 딩딩 그 대장게 덴버시마 미나 이제는 총어면서 내 이제 나도 이제 덴제셔야 돼 네 나도 이제 차단 자와로지 아 이제 좀 짐지 그게 야요 말이 수치야 돼 이제 뒤니까 차단을 자와로 나도 이제 덴제 심바 체정을 때는 되는 거 되게 이메일은 좀 사야 돼 진짜 지바에 난다 문지바에 난다 사만이 좀 마다바리 바리 내가 라지도 이 말이 되게 이메일은 나한테 이제 내가 좀 지바에 차바다 이제 되게 다다는데 좀 문지바 당황해서 바기 이제 되게 차단을 줘줘바기 심바 된제게 마방도에 있으면 되는 수 많이
So when Buddha talked about the consequences of attachment to beautiful form, and he used an example of moth. You know moth? The fly? So it's like you're flying, jumping into flames. You understand what I mean? So there's moth. So whenever the moth sees the flame from the bottom light, so immediately just jump into it because he attached to that sort of the light. So as a result, moth dies. So when we attach to the beautiful object, it's almost like that. So because when we are attached to beautiful object, end up doing so many terrible things. So basically here is saying that I forgot the rest part.
대리가 소지 딱 안저지 다네 조금만이 세야 그까네 소기지 다 냥이 쪼노 조도 대지데마 인제마 방이 조 뱀반제마 지프니까 덴제도 뽑아도.
So the important for us is regardless of when we see the beautiful object or ugly object, we have to have understanding of the emptiness or selflessness, because all the problems or negative emotions arises based on the strong clinging or attachment towards this beauty or ugly, hatred for the ugly object and the attachment to the beautiful object.
What that name then 다 나에 매체 셴베체 셴바추데 나루바 세텔로 버티니 수송도 내는 나한테 좀 지바가 소바당 자니바당 드셴바당 네 르잔잠바라 소바기다 되게 도용 주가로 르잔 도용 이렇게 다 추치시데 네 나한테 되게 너가 연대 여바 잠지 나한테 이 첸토요 추치시데 나한테 번은 좀 나오지 이마이야 차단해야 돼. 또 아니지. 저도 내말은 대신 다 쇼케 못해요. 다 차단하는 거. 내가 난 이제 딱 조가 저러고 잡아서 노용 가리지 있는 데데 아무도 이제 여바 장기 대해서 차단 나서 밖에 도저 많이 그 체질에 가릴 때는 용어에서 나도 이제 된전다 이렇게 될 시험하게 또 쇼청부지 게임들 차단제 되는 게 전지의 소소에 있는 용무가 차단제 되는 이제 용무가 차단나서 나도 이제 누구가 이제 동화도刚刚 몽고질러 예, 이제 대다 사막이 짜와로지 조치대 이제 소소 된전기 로그니 말이 그 된전기로 도마세가다 이제 종라서 봐 누가 들어오자고 소바기 너희들은 이제 데미도 또 그때 또 예시 인수면이
So, Tilopa said to Naropa, son, you're not bound with appearances, whether you're bound or tight with attachment towards appearances. So, what it's saying is that having appearances there is not the problem. The problem is how we perceive these appearances. So even if there is a beautiful form, beautiful sound, beautiful smell, or ugly, doesn't matter. The having appearances there is not the problem. The problem is how we accept, how we connect to them, and how we encounter with these appearances. So if we have the thought of existent or truly existent idea, this clinging sort of the thinking of not knowing the emptiness and a strong clinging towards existence of these appearances are the problem.
When Miki Nanzo take Lumba, the number of Malay thing by Marina, Mikashi by Namsan, and the Congo Jendo. The Paris in Tip Horror, which is that Zook number of days, Nanzo,